Hello. Today we're working on Module 2, Lesson 15. And as I promised you last night, we're going to be using word problems involving measurement conversions. And these are going to be two-step word problems, so we'll have to do something besides the measurement conversions. Let's start with this problem. Liza's cat had 6 kittens. When Liza and her brother weighed the kittens together, they weighed 4 pounds 2 ounces. Because all the kittens are about the same size, about how many ounces does each kitten weigh? So the first thing that I'm going to do is write my sentence for my answer. Each kitten weighs about blank, and up here it says I'm supposed to put my answer in ounces, and I'm going to abbreviate it down here so it will fit on my line. Each kitten weighs about blank ounces. Now I need to figure out my strategy and the order that I'm going to do things in. Well, the first thing I notice is that altogether they weigh 4 pounds and 2 ounces, and I need to give my answer in ounces. So step 1 is going to be convert pounds to ounces, because I need to have just one number in ounces to find my answer. And then I also notice that it says about how many. Now, a lot of times when you see the word about, and I used it in my answer as well, it means to find an estimate, but that is not what this story problem is asking us to do. It's asking us to find an average. And the way to find an average is to add everything up, in this case 6 kittens, and you find the total. Well, they've already done that part for us. And then the next part of finding an average is to divide your total by the number of things that you're finding an average for. And so that would be, we're going to divide by 6 to find an average. And an average is a different kind of estimate. To find estimate, to find average. An average is a different kind of estimate. It will tell us the total weight is exact. We know exactly how much they weigh when they're all together. And they're all about the same size. And so when we find the average, we know about how much each kitten weighs. We have a good estimate for each kitten's weight, but they could vary a little bit. Okay, step 1 is converting pounds to ounces, and I know that 1 pound equals 16 ounces. And I have 4 pounds here, so I need to know 4 pounds equals how many ounces. So I'm going from large units to small units. That means that I'm going to be multiplying by a whole number, in this case 16. So I'm going to say 4 times 1 pound, and I'm going to use the abbreviation here, equals 4 times, and now I'm going to change my unit. For every 1 pound, I have 16 ounces. And this is another thing I love about the customary units. LB stands for pounds. We have it doesn't look like the word pounds at all. Ounces, OZ, it has an O in it, but where does that Z come from? It's a mystery to me, but if you want to do some etymological study in the dictionary, you might be able to find out why this happens. So now for our last step, we have 4 times 16, and since it's a 2-digit number and it's not just a basic fact, I'm going to go ahead and find my answer over here. 4 times 6 is 24, and I'll have a 2 in the tens place that I'm going to hold on to, and 4 times 10 is 40, plus that 2 tens will make a total of 6 tens, so my answer is 64. So 4 pounds equals 64 ounces. And then I have to remember that I have another 2 ounces to add in, so 64 plus 2 equals 66 ounces. So the answer to step 1, I've just converted 4 pounds to 2 ounces to all ounces, and the answer is 66 ounces. Now for step 2, I need to find the average weight of the kittens. I just found out that their total weight is 66 ounces, and to find the average I need to divide that by the number of kittens. So 66 divided by 6, and some of you may be able to look at this and see the answer, or some of you may need to set it up. So 6 goes into 6 one time. 1 times 6 is 6. I subtract. I've got 0 left over. I break down my next 6 in the ones place. 6 goes into 6 ones, another 1 time, and of course I have nothing left over. So 66 divided by 6 equals 11 ounces, and I'll put that down here. So each kitten weighs about 11 ounces. I know their total weight. I know there are 6 of them. They each weigh about 11 ounces, but one kitten is likely to be a little bit bigger than the others, etc. Now it's your turn. A container of oregano is 50 pounds. It is 17 pounds more than a container of peppercorns. The peppercorns will be sold in 1-ounce bags. How many bags of peppercorns can be made? So this is similar to the last problem in that we are converting from larger units, pounds, to smaller units, ounces. However, we are not finding an average. We're doing something different this time. So I need you to reread, figure out what your 2 steps are. One of your steps obviously is going to be making a conversion from pounds to ounces. So do your best and write your answer on the Edpuzzle quiz, please. Here's our next problem. Each costume needs 46 centimeters of red ribbon and 3 times as much yellow ribbon. What is the total length of ribbon needed for 64 costumes? Express your answer in meters. So I'm going to write my answer down below, first of all, with a blank where the number goes. A total of blank meters is needed. And so what I notice here is right off is that meters is the unit that I need to use in my answer, and centimeters is the unit that I am using, that the information is given to me in. Centimeters are smaller. I'm converting from a smaller unit to a larger unit. So this time I know I'm going to be multiplying by either a decimal fraction or a vertical fraction in order to do my conversion. So the first thing I want to do is figure out what are the steps. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I have to figure out how much red ribbon, how much red and yellow ribbon I need. So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out how much ribbon, and then I'm going to figure out how many meters. So my second step will be convert to meters. To help me visualize the problem, I'm going to make a tape diagram And the total is what I want to know. Well, I want to know the total for each dress, first of all, or each costume, the total for one costume. And I know that I need 46 centimeters of red ribbon and 3 times as much yellow ribbon, which actually means, so here's the 46 cm for the red ribbon, and then I need 3 times as much, so another 3 blocks of 46 centimeters of yellow ribbon. So the total is actually 4 times 46 centimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and find the answer to that part. 46 centimeters times 4, and 4 times 6 is 24, so I'll put that little tiny 2 in the tens place and the 4 in the ones place. And 4 times 4 tens is 16 tens, or 160, plus 2 more tens will be 180. 4 total centimeters for one costume. But of course, my question is, how much do I need for 64 costumes? So now I'm going to have to take that 184 and multiply that times 64. 4 times 4 is 16, and 4 times 8 is 32, plus this 1 is 33, and 4 times 1 is 4, plus that 3 will make a 7. And then I'll move down and multiply by my tens place, and 6 times 4 is 24. Make a little tiny 2 there to carry it over. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 2 will be 50, and 6 times 1 is 6, plus that 5 will give me 11. 6 plus 0 is 6, 3 plus 4 is 7, 7 plus 0 is 7, and then, oops, I forgot to cross off that partial product. So it looks like 11,776 total centimeters for 64 costumes. Now that I know I need 11,776 centimeters, I have to convert that to meters. And I know that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter, but what my need to know is how many meters, because I'm going to have to replace the centimeters with meters. How many meters are in a centimeter? And so if there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter, that means that in 1 centimeter there's going to be 1/100th of a meter. And I'm going to write it like a decimal this time around. I could also, okay, sorry, dog was barking. I could also write this as a fraction, but for this one, I'm going to write it as a decimal. So that means that I have 11,776 copies of 1 centimeter. And I'm going to turn those into meters. So it's 11,776 times 0.01, or 1/100th meter. And when I multiply 11,776 times 1/100th, that means that this 6 is now going to be in the hundredths place. So I'm going to write my digits. So here's my 6 in the hundreds place, my 7 is in the tenths place, and there's my decimal. And so what I have is 117 and 76 hundredths meters. So the answer to my problem that I'm going to fill in to the blank a few slides ago is 170. The total needed is 117 and 76 hundredths meters. Now notice, since we are converting from a smaller unit to a larger unit, our answer is smaller than the original number because we multiplied by a decimal fraction, and when you multiply by a fraction, your answer will be smaller than one of the factors. All right, here is a similar problem for you to solve. Jackie had 10 cups of concentrate to make orange juice for her basketball team. She used 5 cups of water to every 1 cup of concentrate. After making the juice, she put it in quart containers. How many containers did she need? So you'll have to follow the same process of figuring out what step 1 and step 2 are. You'll have to figure out what your conversion is going to be, and then you'll need to put your answer into a complete sentence on the Edpuzzle quiz. Good luck, and I'll see you in class tomorrow.